Welcome to season 2 of the Energy Upgrade podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa, master biohacker and successful entrepreneur. In season 1 of the Energy Upgrade, you got to have a taste for my obsession in all things health, energy, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and biohacking, or how to take radical responsibility in living a life by design. As a certified health coach, integrated health practitioner, kinesiologist, and seasoned entrepreneur who built and sold a 7-figure business, I want to dive deeper in this season 2. After healing myself from burnout, from my health falling apart, my hormones leaving my body, I'm here to share everything I wish someone had told me. Every day, I have the incredible opportunity to be mentoring women and supporting them in becoming true magnetic energy bombs. I'm helping them remember who they were all along. It's so powerful that I want to take you in on the journey, almost as if you were a fly on the wall. You'll find that I'm not your typical health coach, and I'm not your typical business coach either. I'm somewhere in between with a lot of spirituality sprinkled in there. This podcast is a sacred place where I come and share with you things that will bring you a high return on investment, because yes, I'm all about ROI. Life goes fast, and if I can show you a shortcut or two, I'll have succeeded at bringing you value. Thank you for being here. Let's go.
Your time is now. Your energy is your life force. You want to be able to magnetize your wildest dreams. A liver detox is the fastest way to start healing. You can and you will.
Welcome back to another episode of the Energy Upgrade. This week, I'm so excited to have a conversation with a woman I really enjoy chatting with. I'm stretching her out of her comfort zone. Normally we have our conversations in French, but today Cassendre Chassé is coming to the show to talk about feminine energy in business, talk about the wounds that are keeping us stuck in the masculine energy, in the ego, and how to break free of that so we can achieve better growth, better ease, better flow in our life and in our business if you are an entrepreneur. Now, this conversation is good for anybody who's wanting better relationship, better business, a better life in general, because these wounds affect all of us and they were created when we were young. So this is going to be quite a conversation. Now, let me give you a little bit more background on Cassandre, because she is so fantastic. So let me tell you more about her. She is master in the art of personal evolution. She's a successful entrepreneur. She accompanies her clients with compassion and truth. And in fact, when you are speaking with her, it just comes from the heart. It's so beautiful. As a mother of a 20-year-old now, you're not going to believe this. She's so young. And businesswoman, she has accumulated expertise for over 20 years in the field of holistic health. With an unconventional start to life, she was involved in the world of luxury escorts for 4 years, while also working in the culinary industry. A retired chef, she left the bustling kitchen after 14 years to open an organic grocery store and catering service. In search of inner peace to ease a deep sense of dissatisfaction and constant stress, she pursued studies in herbalism. She became a yoga teacher and she became certified as a health coach. Always approaching her journey with vulnerability and commitment, she took the time to heal her wounds throughout these years of exploration and learning. Passionate about coaching and humanity, she pursued professional certification in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, as a certified coach. And for the past 8 years, she's been involved in corporate coaching at Lululemon, contributing to support programs for North American employees in Canada and the United States, while also maintaining her private practice. Now, what's amazing about Cassandre is she has really become this specialist of relationship, in particular, this love specialist. And it starts with loving yourself so that you can love others around you and really level up your relationship from a place of authenticity and not from a place of lack or from a place of trying to have your old wounds taken care of by someone else. So she is Yeah, I think you're going to love this conversation. Please buckle up and let's welcome her for this amazing conversation. Let's go. Cassandre, such a joy to welcome you on the show today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
So, we've had the absolute pleasure of meeting each other in a coaching container, in a business coaching container. And we've had also the chance of spending time together last year, right? Where we both won a wonderful award for our work and our recognition. And I remember we were having this like deep conversation at the end of the night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta come on the podcast because this is going to be a juicy one. We're going to be talking about, the sexual energy, the womb space, your feminine energy, and how to apply that in your day-to-day in your business. So, first of all, like tell me more about you, your story. How did you get into this? Because you have a unique story.
I think coaching it was like, I don't know, like the normal ending of what happened to me, like I've been highly trained since I'm born, into pain, ugly, difficult, I call it hell, like
Mhm,
it's intergenerational. So from my grandparents to my parents, there were like wounds that were not healed. So here I am, my parents, they had me like at 20 years old without any tools, with only like difficulties, like wounds and stuff like that. So they were not equipped. They
mhm,
were there was love, there was but no structure, no, it was like really like random, lots of violence, lots of drugs, lots of no sex, drug, and rock and roll. Let's put it
mhm,
this way. And so after all this, like really young. I got raped. I was an escort at 18 years old, and I was working in kitchen. I became a chef at 20 years old. So I was like having like a, like both personalities. I was wild, and I was just like going through life with lots of, anger, with lots of pain, with lots of, but at the same time, there was something inside of me that was like, you know what? There's something nicer and bigger and beautiful for you in life, but you have to go through this. That's just a fact, right? So
mhm,
I got pregnant at 23 years old. So I had to heal myself, when you bring a child into this world, your your homework is to take care of yourself, right? Because
mhm.
I didn't want that intergenerational. My grandmother got raped at 17 years old and got pregnant. Same thing happened to me. So I was like, oh my God. And I didn't want my daughter to be an escort. I wanted my daughter to have self-esteem. So I was like, holy moly, I have to work on myself because I know I can, transfer this to my daughter. I was like, no way. So I worked so hard, like so hard. And yeah, so I was like, oh my God, I can help other people to do this for themselves. I'm like, this is the best thing. So here I am. Yeah.
I always say our biggest hardships in life is really where, once you're able to heal and transcend it, that's your biggest gift to the world. It's basically your purpose. So
There you
tell
go.
me more about how you're supporting people in your world right now. Like, from this hardship, you've discovered that you can teach this to other, that whatever they're going through doesn't have to define them.
Yeah, absolutely. As a NLP coach, it's neuroscience, a
Mhm,
neuro-linguistic programming coach. We work with, deprogramming, reprogramming, what happened to us, it's like, like when there's like little fires that burn since you're like 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, and then it can just like l'éteindre. I don't know how to say that, like put
Is
water on it,
yeah, 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 yeah. Just
like
put it out. Put the
put
fire
it
out.
out,
Yeah.
So to be at the moment, the present moment, because I look like an adult, but inside of me, I have child decisions. I'm
Mhm.
not an adult inside. I look like an adult, but all my choices are going to be um, drived, or they're going to be run by wound. And this
Yeah.
is what I wanted to share today, those wounds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it's the 5-year-old version of us that's making the calls and goes into this loop of nonsense, quite frankly. So if we want to step into this mature, grown-up adult or version of ourselves, and we've both
Yeah.
experienced what it means to run a business or run our life in hustle, deeply anchored in this wounded masculine energy. So we've both experienced that, and we've also both been able to tap into the beauty of healing that and discovering the power of, I mean, our superpower as women, which is the power of the feminine energy. So where do
Yeah.
you want, like, let's go there. Where do you want to start?
Um, where do I want to start? That the antidote to your life is a feminine energy, even if you're a man, right?
Mhm,
And it's called intuition.
mhm,
And to bring it back to the roots is like you're gonna go through stuff between your 0 to 12. And these wounds are abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, injustice, and rejection. And those 5 wounds, very precise. There's 2 that you're gonna go through like, you know, more. Like there's 2 that's gonna be like your biggest challenge. And those wounds that happens between 0 to 12, they're gonna create a personality, a mask, right? So rejection is gonna create a personality of fleeing. You want
mhm,
to run away from situations. Injustice, you're going to become rigid. Betrayal, controlling. Humiliation, you're going to go through a personality of masochist, like victim.
mhm,
And abandonment, you're going to be a dependent person. So me, I was dependent and controlling. That was the 2, um, you know, wounds that I've been through to my life. And all my choices, like why did I become a chef? It's a male,
mhm,
environment. I didn't want to be a woman. It was weak, you know. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be, um, you know, I didn't want to have nothing to do with my feminine energy. It was scary. It was weak, right? So even in it forms also your physical body, right? So I had weight problems because abandonment wounds, you're going to put some weights on your body to protect you, right? So and all those wounds, they take roots into your uterus. Haha. Hello. So,
hello, feminine
uh,
energy.
and what is more creative than a uterus? You know, it's the benediction of the
It
creation.
creates life.
There you go. So all those wounds, as long as they are like, because it's a low energy, that's why it's like in the first, second, and third chakras, right? Because
Mhm,
it's wounds are like
mhm.
shame, guilt, insecurity,
Yeah, low
um
frequency.
low frequency energy, right? So that's why they get stored in us, the uterus. So, and just to make like a parenthèse, in 2020 I had a surgery because I had a fibroid of 1 kilogram on my uterus. There was a lot of stuff there.
Like
So
somatic, you mean?
there you go. There you go. So
And when they took it away, I'm just curious here. What changed in you? Did you feel something? Mhm.
everything changed.
Everything.
Everything changed. I got divorced. My business went like phew.
Hmm.
I met the man of my life. Like it's a complete shift in my money and my love situation and health,
Abundance. Abundance.
abundance.
Yeah.
There you go. I had that weight, I had all this stored energy from shame, from guilt, from la 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 that was stored. And I did all the, mental, physical, and emotional and spiritual work. And I just needed a little boost, a little help
It's
from
physical, yeah, help. Wow.
and you know what's the name of my doctor? It was Dr. Paradise. I was like,
What?
amen.
Oh my gosh. I just want to pause here because what you're bringing
Yeah.
up is so important, and this is part of my message that I keep re bringing back to the surface, because I always say, healing, or let's say biohacking, is so much more than just about supplements. And what you're sharing here is yet again how wounds and unprocessed emotions and traumas that we've just stuffed down will crystallize in the body and will really start creating disease. And so disease formation, including cancer, now we know, like, it's 7, 8+ years in the making, and it's often triggered by a trauma, or something that happened where you didn't allow yourself to just live it, feel it, be it. You just pushed it down. So yeah, so it's interesting. Your fibroid in your uterus, after years of being an escort and totally shutting that part of you down, right?
Yeah.
You were sharing to me how, like, at one point you couldn't even feel anything,
No,
right?
because
Because
yeah,
you
you
had,
don't
like,
want to feel anything when you did
exactly,
it, So
yeah. So imagine the amount of trauma that was in that area, right?
yeah, and we know that sexual relationship is energy. It's an exchange. So me,
Yes,
I was trying to cut it because I didn't want their energy, but I mean,
you got it. And that's
I
the
got it, you know? So
Yeah,
it's
oh my gosh, this could be another tangent. But this is so fascinating, and we often don't think about that, how, yeah, sexual energy is so much more than what we hear. It's this exchange, and that's why it's so important that you are intentional, conscious about it, that you go about it ready to receive and give, but also that you want to receive what the other has to give.
absolutely, absolutely. Like, who are you? I don't know you. Like, am I gonna let you in this temple? I mean,
Mhm.
come on. And I did it so much because I had that womb,
Mm.
stuck in my womb, so I was trying to it, and the ego is trying to make you, it's trying to help you, so we don't have to be too hard on ourselves, because our coping mechanism that we, like to get the masculine energy, I mean, it was a solution one day to probably save our life,
Oh,
you
totally.
know so it's not about like hitting yourself harder. It's more about putting more awareness, and how does my ego and those coping mechanism appears in my life? Do I compare myself all the time? You know, do I what's my, because the ego works in your brain. It's mental. So it's gonna rob you from energy. Are you tired? Because
Mhm.
it makes you think all the time, to compare and it's always like me, the ego. It's like, I don't feel good today. No, 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 it's your fault. Da, 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 da. If I don't feel good today, like it's ego, me against the world, you know? So you become like brain tired. You're mentally tired. Like your body continues, but ego when it takes. And what's ego, right? It's like, that gentle neighbor that comes and wants to help you all the time, and at the beginning it helps you, it has good advice, and you're like, okay, yeah, yeah, makes sense. But then he knows everything about you and tries to help you all the time, and it's like knocking at the door. So you gave him just too much space. So, and how to recognize that you are in an ego place is your physical sensation. When you put intuition in your ego, like try to, say, go back home, okay, ego, you're just gonna have to, what are the emotions that I'm feeling right now? Is my body tense? Do I have like, like tension in my body, in my neck, in my jaw? How is my heart beating? You don't feel good when you're in ego sensations. So
Mhm.
as soon as you tap into ego sensations, like not feeling good, like physical, you're like tight like that, you're not in the right path.
You're
So
not
it's
in your feminine energy.
there you go,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's always like, and it's gonna come and strike you back, and sending you like exactly what you need to see to trigger. So it's a learning how to just stop. Well, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling like an expansion? No. Am I feeling like in a flow? No. Okay. So what do I want to do right now? What else could I do? What else could I choose? Which emotion could I choose now instead of, you know, shame, guilt, insecurity, doubt? What else can I choose now? So it's really awareness. It's like a 1, 2, 3 step,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you get like stuck in your ego and you like try to go harder. And then you're like, whoa, 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 awareness, and then choose a new emotion. At the beginning, it's not going to be natural, of course, but you can do it 1,000 times a day. This is what I did, right? And then you just train because your thoughts, they creates matters in your body. That was my fibroid, not
Mm-hmm.
that's my ego trying to put my fibroid, the fibroid.
Oh, I love it.
See? It's right there trying to, sneak.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard the news? I'm so excited to be introducing the Soul and Wealth Club, a brand new membership, a sacred space for women who are ready to heal their body, mind, and soul, but also to rise in order to live a life full of purpose with more ease and flow. When you become a member of the Soul and Wealth Club, I will be supporting you on this journey back to you. My intention with this space is really to go deeper with you. I'll be hosting monthly 2-hour virtual group retreats where I'm going to lead you and deepen the conversations about all things biohacking, abundance, soul work, emotional release, feminine energy, wealth creation, and so much more. It promises to be extremely potent. Not only are we going to meet every month for these 2-hour masterclasses, but also I'm going to leave you with a recorded activation. See it as a visualization or a meditation that you'll be able to do at home on your own time as often as you need to during the month to integrate the teachings and the learnings. This will help really move the needle at a cellular level so that you can really, really transform. We're also going to have this private online community of like-minded women that will be able to see you, support you. I will be answering all your questions, reading every single post so that we stay in the energy. Now hurry, because we start Friday, March 22nd, our first virtual group retreat. Now, of course, as always, you'll have the replays and you can join this membership right now at the introductory pricing of only $222 a month. I'm so excited to finally have a more approachable option for you to join my universe, be in the energy, and start rising. Now, that's not all. If you join before the first session, March 22nd, and if you opt in for an annual membership, I'm going to give you the entire access to the Library of the Energy Upgrade. This is my acclaimed healing and energy coaching program that's going to help you really reconnect with your body. There's over 40 different masterclasses in this program, and it really is the ideal support to the membership. Now, if you want more information, we're going to put the link to the club in the show notes. Otherwise, you can always find me, as always, on Instagram. Send me a DM. You can DM Soul to get more information on this amazing membership. Now, hurry up. We start soon, and the introductory pricing currently is at $222 a month. I hope to see you there. Yeah, so basically what you were saying is that the wounded masculine energy is driven by the ego that is obviously trying to keep you safe, keeping you small, keeping you also in these loops. What's interesting is these 5 wounds you've listed, believe it or not, they're actually addictive, right? Like we get so addicted. Like think of maybe someone that you know in your life that always plays the victim loop. no matter what the situation is, they will always find a way to make it about them, how it's worst for them, and how, the whole world is against them and it's not fair. So that behavior is actually addictive.
Oh, yeah.
And most people are like, what do you mean? Yeah, you actually, like, your nervous system, your ego, that's their MO. That's how they operate. So they're always going to want to recreate this pattern in every situation. So like you say, awareness is the first thing. I always say awareness is half of the battle. So once you're aware, you're able to be like, oh, geez, I did it again. Oops,
Yeah.
here it is. I did it again. Or like you said, the abandonment wound, which is huge in codependency relationships, or, codependency with anything. It could also be in your business with your clients. It could, like, and that's often where, when the ego starts taking over, that's often where we default into this masculine energy where we're always in the doing. And like you say, this contraction, there's a contraction at a physical level, at a mental level. We can even feel it. I often say, when I was trying to heal myself, I had a timer on my phone every hour as a reminder to breathe. Imagine that. That's how far I was coming. Like,
No.
okay, am I in contraction? Oh, yeah, look at this. My shoulders are up to my ears. I have been, shallow breathing. Okay, time for a deep breath. And I would take 5 deep belly breaths every hour. And looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was crazy. But that's just a good reminder. So expansion, so feeling like, oh, that's usually you're en route to your feminine energy. You're en route to tapping into possibilities, breaking patterns, rewriting new stories, intuition also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And it's to take 100% responsibility for what's happening in your life, and it sounds heavy sometimes, but it's just that when you take everything, you also take your power,
Mhm.
and then you can decide, okay, how am I going to react on this? How can I just not go back into that pattern? I take it all. And then I'm like, okay, this I don't want, this I don't want. I take back the power that I left in someone, in my husband, in my ex-husband, in my
Mm.
parents. Mom and dad has a big
Mm.
part in that, in those wounds. I mean, they didn't do it on purpose. I mean, it's really rare that you have like very manipulative parents that do it like on purpose. It's like 3% of the society, which is it's also, 3% of the society, but like our parents, they gave only what they had,
Yeah,
you know?
they did their
So
best for sure.
they did their best, so they didn't create those wounds on purpose, but it still happened. So it's just like to take 100% responsibility and forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness is like a big part of it. And it's a process. It's like grieving, it's not like, oh, okay, I'm good. No, it's going to take time and forgiving yourself. I mean, I had to forgive myself that I took drugs. Like that I had sex with, I don't know how many people that sex was also like my career, so it's like
Mhm.
I had to forgive so much, to be able to love myself. And then I started to be able to forgive my dad, my mom, and everybody that needed to be forgive. So that's freedom.
I love this. So again, that radical responsibility, coming back in your power, in your very own power, not giving it away, and starting by forgiving yourself. That's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Hmm. I want to go back to this. I want to go back to the womb. I want to go back to our
Yeah.
uterus.
Yes.
And this, and I'm so excited because I'm bringing you as an expert in Femme Biohacker, our business program for entrepreneurs, because there is such a big connection between what we hold, what is crystallized in our womb space, and our capacity and ability to create just in general. And when you're thinking about any business right nowadays in today's market, if you are not in your business with the purpose of creating, of offering, servicing, creating innovation, thinking differently, really using your own gifts to create, it's actually going to be hard because that's what people want to see. They want to see creation, innovation, and that comes, a lot of it comes from being able to sit in your intuition, sitting in your feminine energy,
Mm.
forgiving yourself, not being in those old patterns, those old wounds. But talk to me about like what tends to get stuck in that womb space. Like what, like how, or how can someone listening be like, oh geez, where do I start? Like, how do we start? Where do we start?
Um, it's really about your emotions. What are you feeling? But because in your room, like I said, you have all your wounds and all that pain and all that. Everything is stuck, stored there. So as soon as you become aware of what are the emotions I'm going through in a day, what is I am putting inside my body, what do I eat? Do I train? Do I, how do I think? What do I have, like, what what do I create in my life? But as an artist, what how many hours do I allow my inside artist to just take a walk and just to, sit there and allowing, channeling? You cannot have any distraction. So it's really like, once you have like those wounds like healed, or you're in the process, you create space, right? So you create energy. So you have like that blank page and you're like, okay, what do I put? And it can be scary because you're like, I don't know what I want to put on that page, on that uterus, Um, and for me, it's like every morning before anything, I take a pen and 3 pages. So I write 3 pages of whatever is there. It's like, oh, I have to do this today. Da 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 da. Okay, thank you for this. And then and sometimes it's just like la 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 la. Like nothing really like deep. It's just that when you do this, you empty that uterus, that mind, that heart with all that bad vibes, all these things that are not creative, right? That blocks you, your ego, all that. So those 3 pages have been so powerful for me. At the beginning, you're like, man, it's not gonna change nothing. Oh my God. For me, my creativity has to be expressed. I mean, there's a creator. We are their creation, his creation. And so our purpose in life is to create. Just put it this way, it's just who we are, creative. This is what we are doing on this planet. Whatever you do, it's a creation. Every day it's a brand new creation. So for me, I empty those fears, or those, like, I'm tired today, I have to do laundry, blah 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 blah. That's not creative. So I put it on the paper and then I go and do my day. So this is one of the things that I do that has been like very, very, very powerful, because I do one video a day. It's like writing one page of my book every day for my social media. And I was like, what am I going to say? But now it's like flowing because I do those 3 pages.
Wow. Yeah, because it's super interesting because we were talking right before coming online and how your business is just like exploded thanks to your videos that you're doing on TikTok and on social media. And you do have like one new video a day. And it's like, and even, yeah, it's funny you say that because I've been thinking, wow, like it's incredible the amount of creativity and that you have, because every day is a different topic. So I understand now your little trick. But I have to say, journaling in the morning, it's interesting because it's something that I've started this year. I've been doing it every morning, and it's true. So powerful. I also love how it allows you to just have this awareness,
Yes, there you
because
go.
things that flow, you're not like at one point when you start writing, that's why 3 pages is nice. For me, I do more. It always ends up like some days it's like 1.5, and some days it's 2, and some days it's just half a paragraph because I'm just like, nah. But it's interesting to actually see, because once you free flow, you don't control what comes out. it
There you
just
go.
flows. So suddenly you're tapping into more of the subconscious of
Yes.
what's really underneath it all. And I find that this is such a great way to be your own therapist,
Yeah.
right? Because we all, like, again, that's connecting you to your intuition. We all have our answers. And if we give ourselves the space, like you said, the time, if we see that as productive.
Yeah. And, at the beginning, I was like, how am I gonna it's like between 20 minutes, half an hour to write those pages, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so demanding. Now I'm like, I'm putting my alarm like earlier. If I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll do it because I don't want to start a day without doing this.
Mhm.
Purified and getting connected. And sometimes, just like you said, it's like I have a problem, so I write it down and then, oh, I found the solution, or it drives me, like somewhere that I'm going to find the solution, because we only use 5 to 10% of our brain during the day. It's all our consciousness. Not
Mhm.
consciousness, but quand t'es conscient, that's
Yeah,
conscious.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you have
Consciousness. Yeah.
consciousness. And there's another 90%, 95% where you can tap in. That's like, there's the juicy part.
Oh, yeah. And that's where the gifts are, right?
There you go.
I often have women that will come and they're like, I know I'm ready for more, but I don't know what it is. I don't know where to go. And as excruciating as it is, I always tell them, like, you have to just learn to sit with yourself. You have to start, like you said, like cleansing actually at a physical level, but also at a mental level, and just doing these brain dumps and just letting all the yucky, sticky stuff come out of you so that we can create more flow, right? And more,
And
and
she can
it'll
write it
come.
on. If you write it on, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Write it down, just as as far as you can write it. I don't know why am I writing that I don't know what to do. And it's gonna change, and it's gonna be like, that sounds like so. You're gonna
So
write
limiting.
it down.
Why am I thinking
Yeah.
that? I know I can.
Whoa.
Yes, exactly.
So just write it down, write it down, write it down, and go like as far as you can go, because we always stop ourselves. Oh, I have to stop thinking like that, or I have to stop. No, 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 no. Just go like deep into your doubts. What do I really doubt? Like, and you just write it, write it, write it, write it. It's very powerful.
Mm. Any other tip like that you have? I love the journaling, but is there anything else? I mean, maybe that we could close this episode with.
Um, there's so many things I do, but the most important one, or the one that I don't go like without, it's my spirituality, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I have everything written down in my agenda. I have, everything planned. I eat well, I train, but there was always something like missing. And I think it was the spiritual part. And to have faith for me, oh my God, it brought me the inner peace that I never had, knowing that I'm not doing this alone. I'm like, you have a plan. I mean, I can do my plan here, but I know you have one for me. So show it to me like clearly, please. I need some signs,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hey, do you want me to be that coach? I need money. I need a roof. I need food. I need this, If this is really, and if you wouldn't give me any clients, I would have respect that. It's like if I would have, done like one, year without not even a client, I would have done, okay, maybe there's, a
Maybe that's
different,
not for me.
but maybe that's not for me. And it's all good, and because it happened in my life, I became a chef, and I have like really renowned chef that wanted to open a restaurant with me. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do anymore, and I had to choose, like that intuition, because it would have been really fun and glamorous, with very well-known person and blah, blah, blah. With me, I wanted to be a coach. This is what I
Mhm.
really wanted to do in my heart. So I had to say no to the
Close
glamorous.
that chapter. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That
Hmm.
ego, that what you can do it, you're good, and you do it good, and everybody loves your food and blah blah blah. And I was, yeah, but that's not. where I want to go anymore, So it's
Mhm.
really like yeah, tapping into my spirituality, and my CEO over there watching me, and it's like I'm like, tell me what to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. And then that's the thing is allowing ourselves to tap into our spirituality is also feminine
Oh yeah.
because you have to let go of the power and the control and
Yeah.
whatever you believe in, and whether it's like the universe, God, spirit, whatever, there is a co-creation. And like you say, when we realize that, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not alone on this journey. Like there's a
No.
reason why I'm here. There's a reason why I'm here in this lifetime with these gifts. And there's a reason why these cards that I'm given, even though they may not sound great right now, there's a reason. And when you're always thinking about, okay, there's something I need to go through here so I can learn and, level up or whatever it is. So I love that. That co-creation piece is so, so, so important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So where can people find you? And maybe you can tell us just quickly, like, who is your ideal client or who do you support? I know you have like a wide range, but just tell us in a nutshell.
Yeah. So where you can find me, TikTok or Instagram, Cassandre Coaching, Cassandre with an E in the middle, Cassendre. And my ideal client, someone that wants to put on the work,
Yes.
because I'm like, I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well, I'm trained, and I'm here for you to have results. So I want someone that is like committed and like is driven by his transformation. That's the best.
Mhm.
Someone that wants to heal those 5 wounds,
Mhm.
obviously, and master their ego, make it like their friend, and like, friend, okay, today I need you. No, I don't need you. Um, and yeah, just mastering their life and having beautiful relationship. We're always in relations. Either your dad, your family, and I specialize in relationship, like in love, because I mean love for ourselves, self-esteem, self-confidence, and how to bring that love, that pure love when it's healed, and through the process of healing with somebody else, because couples, it's the the biggest, atelier de croissance, It's
Yeah.
like it's your biggest challenge into your life to go and live with someone in your intimacy,
Yeah.
and realizing your dream and supporting someone realizing their dreams while, respecting yourself while you're being there for somebody else. That's a hell of a ride.
It's
So
hard.
it's hard. It's not easy. It becomes easier, but at the beginning, it's like, holy moly, like all the values. If you want to, I always hear like, people don't have values anymore. So I help people to bring back and incarnate those values they want to incarnate, and to be like proud of those values, and speak, and so yeah, it's all about the heart.
I love it. And like you say, you got to heal yourself first to be able to just embrace love for yourself first. Then
There
you
you
can
go.
love others. But
Yeah.
it's got to start with you. And yeah, and you're the queen at that. And you're walking the talk in your beautiful relationship right now. You're so inspiring. Thank you for your light. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your gifts. Thank you for sharing and bringing awareness to this very important topic. I can't wait to also have this deep dive with the women in Femme Biohacker. We're going to do a big, big workshop to help move some of that stuck energy out of the body so we can create and just show up as the best version of ourselves and really create and co-create with this higher source, this higher power. Thank you, my dear. I will link all of your website and your social media profiles in the show notes, and I cannot wait to see you around soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Bye. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grutman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.